Welcome, everybody, to the latest Ask Us Anything for the Countdown Movie and TV Reviews podcast. My name is Paul.
My name is Wayne.
And we have a bunch of questions from our patrons that we're going to answer today and hopefully satisfy your curiosity about the show and about things beyond the show. Of course, people have taken the opportunity to try to embarrass us, which is just fucking wonderful.
I mean, whatever floats your boat.
So we'll start with Brad Hargis's question from the Cinema Guys podcast. Great show. Do check out Brad and Justin and Cinemaiden. If you absolutely had to rewatch your least favorite film, what would it be?
This is actually quite a tough one because it's your least favorite film. How are you going to pick? You hate them all, right?
I have like 30 least favorite films, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, I've got an answer.
Go.
It is Cool as Ice. That is a film starring Vanilla
Don't you
Ice.
defend that film?
Here's the thing. It is unequivocally bad, all right? And I don't like it. I won't watch it. I won't watch it on purpose.
Whoa, hold on.
It's indignant.
Cool as Ice is unequivocally bad?
Yeah, it's shit up, right? Do you like it?
No, I'm joking.
Okay, good. All right, so and it's Vanilla Ice, and it's his only movie, and it's got Naomi Campbell in the beginning of it, and he does stuff like say, "Oh yeah," and when he turns around, his jacket has "Oh yeah" on it on the collar, shit like that. All that shit happens. However, it is a guilty pleasure for many people. Not me though. I don't like it, but if you had to watch it again, I think I'd probably go. I'd laugh enough at it that it wouldn't be too unpleasant. How about you?
I just went with what is my least favorite film series. So if I had to, therefore I didn't try and qualify it by being pleasurable.
The complexity of the question is like if you had to watch.
I didn't cheat, Brad.
Which is your least favorite film? Least not favorite film. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't do
Which one can you bear the most?
I fucking hate Twilight films. I said just one of those three that I watched because then I tapped out before Breaking Dawn part shit.
Okay. I think the question was, what's your, if you had to watch one, which would you like?
Your least favorite film, what would it be?
No, if you had to watch your least favorite film so you could choose it, what would it be? You know
Brad.
Anyway,
Brad.
I think that was a very good discussion. Thank you.
All right, next question then from Chris Uni. What did you want for your birthday that was about a week and a half ago, Wayne?
What did I want for my birthday? I wanted a new Apple Watch because I'm a nerd. And I got it. It's a really unusual Apple Watch. It doesn't look like an Apple
No, you can't talk not to the microphone.
Anyway, yes, it's a watch with a case that makes it look like this. And someone said to me the other day, that's a little Tony Stark. I don't want to say that it is or it isn't, but it's. I actually.
Do you want to talk about how much you went home and jerked off afterwards?
Oh, these walls, they used to be green. Now they're white.
Hard to tell with the lighting.
I know, it's hard to tell you, yeah.
That it is. All right, so the next question then. Christian's part B question. How much do you spend on OnlyFans, Wayne?
I don't know why this is just my question. And also, I've never had an OnlyFans thing. I've never paid. In fact, I'll tell you something, Paul. All right? Since 1997, I decided I will never pay for porn. Okay? Because the internet's there and stuff like that. There's ways around it. And that's probably bad. But
shockingly, the porn industry did not go.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Well, do you remember what it was like?
What are we going to do now? What are we going to do?
Yes, all right. So here's the thing. Do you remember? So I remember back in the day, people. For anyone who doesn't know this, in Australia, in sort of the early aughts, I guess, if you wanted proper porn, you had to fly to a different fucking state, notably Canberra.
What do you mean by proper porn?
Proper porn is X-rated porn, all right? Legitimate X-rated porn before the internet. Before the internet,
physical copy thereof.
Yes, like video, right? Before the internet.
Why are we talking about this?
Because you're talking
in
about
the dark ages.
In the dark ages, and I remember walking into a Melbourne porno store, and
as you do,
and some friends of mine had said, "Hey, if there's any porn over there, can you buy us some?" And I said, what, is there like a shopping list of porn that I can walk in with? Anyway, I walked into this place just to see if it was there. And because they only have R-rated stuff in Melbourne.
How did this work? I would like Big Jug 6.
All right.
And if you've got it, can we please have well-hung hotties?
Well, no. The one new titles, what they said was genres. So, for example, someone like Paul might say, is there any Asian porn? Or... I think there was a fella who said, "Look, I'm really into lactating swingers," which is a thing. Anyway, I'm just saying, I didn't find any of that stuff, but I'll tell you the experience I had was that I walked into one of those stores, and then the dude behind the counter was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" I'm like, "Hey, what's up? Don't look at me." And then each videotape was like $50. They're really expensive. Anyway, I didn't buy any, but that's the experience I
You
had.
didn't fill the order then.
No, it was a joke anyway. Can you find me lactating? No, I'm not gonna fucking look around for fucking lactating porn, which I didn't even know was a thing. So there you are, everyone.
Sure. Okay. Good.
I mean, I found out later on.
From Choice Spinner, moving right the fuck along. Happy New Year and best of 2022.
Thanks, Troy.
Boys, thank you, Troy. Secondly, if either of you were to make another podcast, what would you want it to be about and why?
We've spoken about this a little bit.
We have.
So if we were to do a B show or a companion show or just a whole new thing, it would probably be about dating. Now, the reason for that, is because Paul could embarrass me directly, like in real time, whereas Paul would just be talking about his past experiences before he was married.
I have no dating experiences anymore.
Right. So, but I think it would be funny because it would still be the same dynamic as this show where I say off-color things that Paul has to edit. Paul's got, someone put a ring on it.
Yep.
And so, yes, that's what I think it would be about. Anything else? Would we talk about...
No, that was exactly I thought it'd be very funny for Wayne's we'd be like talking generally about the guy experience of dating, and then Wayne would pepper it with anecdotes about his current dating life.
And Paul about his previous dating life.
Yeah, but
That
it
would
wouldn't be as
probably
interesting as because Wayne is living it right now as a
You
middle-aged
never
man.
know. You never know.
I'm not sure the 20-year-olds would get into it, but maybe the divorcees would have a market thereof.
Yeah, sure. Or even just people who like seeing a man make a fool of himself, which is everyone.
Which is pretty much our podcast.
And all our listeners, yes.
Full start. Oh, full start.
Yes.
Full stop. Itchion Fidion Save said, what would you say is your favorite pretentious movie and why, Wayne?
Did I write a note about this?
I did. So I'll
Okay.
lead off while you,
Go ahead.
I will vamp by answering the actual question. So I went through ranker.com, and ranker.com says that Cloud Atlas is exceptionally pretentious. The Wachowski siblings film, written by David Mitchell, or at least based on his novel. I like Cloud Atlas. I know this is a bone
You
of
did
contention.
like... It's a Tom Hanks one, yeah?
Tom Hanks is in
Yeah.
it's like several storylines. It's all about reincarnation and connection through the ages. And kind of like, people you are connected with one way or the other will find their way back to you, good or badly. I kind of like that concept, and I thought it was handled well. Apparently it's an unfilmable novel. Well, I thought you did a fine job. It's not amazing, don't get me wrong, but of what the list of pretentious films I looked at, that was my favorite.
Okay, cool. My favorite pretentious film is The Player by Robert Altman, which is one of those films where everything that happens in the background of the movie is to do with the dialogue that's going on at the time. Also, The Comfort of Strangers is a Paul Schrader film, which is very indie.
First
and very...
reformed card counter guy, yeah.
No. The Comfort of Strangers is actually Rupert Everett and Natasha Richardson, and they're in
It says Paul Schrader guy.
Yeah.
Paul Schrader wrote...
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying that was this movie. No. Yeah, and it's about like desire. It's got Christopher Walken in it as well. Walken. Very moody. Oh my God, what a shock at the end kind of arty-farty film.
I
but
got no idea. I've never seen it.
very, very good. Very good.
Okay.
If you're
There
in
we
the
are. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Josh Ragland said, if you came into a bunch of money and no longer had to work, how would you guys spend your time?
Right. Now, I think every normal person on the planet has this plan in their head. It's like, hey, if you won, whatever, 5 million, 10 million
One Powerball.
One
For
Powerball,
you
exactly,
Australian
right?
watchers.
Everyone knows that the first thing they do, they go, well, I do this, I buy this house, I buy this car, then I give some money to this motherfucker, then I do all this other shit, and then I buy all the pants
And
in
you
the
would
world.
instantly sound like Eddie Murphy.
That's right. So my answer is, sure, you set up all of your assets. Okay, you get the car you always wanted, you get the house you always wanted. That's
What
fine.
would be the car you always wanted?
My dream car is oddly a BMW X4, black one.
Is that SUV? Yeah, okay.
But it's got a fastback. It's really cool. I don't have that car yet. I was told recently that it's actually within my price range. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting, but I'm not going to do it yet. So, yeah, that. And I guess the house is just some house with a bat cave in it.
I took it to be, like, the question was, just reading it from Josh, how would you guys spend your time, not your money?
Oh, sorry. Okay. The time goes like this. Now that you don't have to go to work and do anything and have a boss and do any of that shit, I would spend all of my time being an artist for my own purposes.
There you go.
I would just draw
There you
shit all day, right? But probably I would waste half of that time as well and do some really dumb, unproductive shit, like just... Well, we watch a lot of movies anyway. But yeah.
Well, I think that's the point. My answer was I'd like to do this as a paid.
See,
so
this
not a paid
isn't
gig.
work
Don't
to
need to
me.
worry about it anymore because you've got enough money. So we could do this guilt-free, watch things guilt-free, not have to worry about what I should be doing. Otherwise, that was really big for me. But
You could
then
hire a nanny. You could hire like 2-3 nannies.
No.
Charlie Sheen styles, you know what I'm saying? I know you like raising
What
your
a
daughter.
bastion of parenthood Charlie Sheen must be.
Yeah, you're right.
With tiger blood and all the rest of that. No, then the other part, I just like to write. I'd like to write
Paul is a writer, everyone.
screenplays and short stories and novels and novellas and all the rest of it. I'd just like to see if I could get something out there published, if not even by me, published by someone who thinks it's good enough to be published by.
Yeah, that's the thing. You chase all those like weird dreams that you had no time to pursue. So, and I want to say that I would be committed enough to do that, and I probably would. But I'll tell you this: I would probably implement the 3-hour workday. That's what I would do. My day would be at 3 hours of work. Everything else is just buggering around, and then you still get shit done. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
One guy talking. There you
Fair
go.
enough. Then from Jennifer Manson. So thanks for keeping us entertained through 2021. Thank you, Jen. In what will possibly be another challenging year, you're spot on the mark there, Jen, given where we are 15 days or 16 days into the new year. What are your aspirations for 2022?
I don't know whether I should tell anyone this or not, but I'm going to. I'm investigating creating an adult coloring book. That's right. No, it's not what you think it is. All right? It's not a coloring book. No, it's not an actual rude coloring book in terms of like
Oh, right.
porn or anything.
When you say it that way,
No, but it's actually a thing.
how about you say a maturer?
Well, the thing is, it has words like content stuff in it, right? But it's in a pattern that it's the soothing to color in. And I thought, if I could just draw the thing and creatively make it beautiful,
That needs a drink.
it's actually like a therapy thing for a lot of adults. That's why they say it's an adult coloring. It's not a kids one where there's like fucking like Disney characters and shit. It's got adult themes in it, like words, but not actual titties and stuff. So just in
This
case
time.
that's what no, there will no be. I'm not gonna draw titties unless it's like a nude life or something like that. But that's not a coloring book. That's art. You see, what would you do, Paul? What do you got?
My aspirations. I'd like to build a website for the podcast, like
nice.
a proper one. We've had a couple goes and failed dismally. So
Wow, you belched right in my face, didn't you?
did I belch?
Did you? I don't know. I got it. I got the whiff.
I
I
think
got
it's
the
just my general smell.
Oh, okay, that's beautiful. Sorry. Please go on.
Well, it's my smell of my beer. I did not belch.
No,
You'll
okay.
know when I belch,
Oh,
motherfucker.
yeah, I bet I will.
Good,
Go ahead
I'm
and
glad
rip
that
one
made the
during the
video.
show. Go ahead.
Glad I made the video. Creating a website for the podcast. I'd like to help my daughter with her education experience. That's my aspiration.
Excellent. Good dad.
Encourage my wife to continue to buck for a promotion. That'd be good.
Supports his woman,
Help
this guy.
my team at work continue to expand and survive / navigate this COVID tsunami which is heading our way. So yeah, that's
That
2022.
was such a better answer than mine.
Prepared.
Well done, old man. Nice one.
All right, continue scrolling down. B Dizzle from We Watch the Thing podcast. Wayne, can you describe your ideal woman?
All right, B
How
Dizzle.
long have we got? Jesus.
No, hang on. This is not that way at all, everyone. I actually did a writing exercise not long ago where the thing was you have to. Man, this is gonna sound bad. All right, I'll just give it to you like even. The exercise was in order to find the girl or whatever of your
She
dreams.
will have.
No, shut up. It's not a Tremors thing. It's not a Tremors thing. Yeah, you actually write down attributes as though you were ordering someone off Amazon. I know it sounds bad. All right, but that is.
Or rushes on.
Well, that's it. So there was a bunch of stuff, but the highlights probably were that one, she needs to laugh. She really needs to laugh. And at me or with me, I don't care. She just needs to laugh, okay? So there's that. I had a thing for redheads. It's the exact opposite to Paul. Paul doesn't like redheads. And it's not a deal breaker or anything, but since you asked, it's that. I want to say, what else can I say? Yeah, I can't say that. Can't say that one either.
I wondered how honest you'd be.
Yeah, I can't say that one. Okay, let's round it out with. It would be nice if she was shorter than me. I know I'm a short man. Look at this, okay? But I still would like to. If she was Paul's height, right? I would get a mouthful of titty every time.
He's pulling high heels.
Yeah, and that kind of thing. But no, it's what are you gonna do? That's it. When you're a short man, you have to think about things like this.
Laughs at or with you.
At or with
is
me.
a redhead and shorter than you. That's your ideal woman.
Among the things that I didn't tell you, yes. It's not a very tall order, is it? And also, she doesn't have to be a redhead.
No, it wouldn't
so,
be taller.
So they're not at all
It'd be
tall.
very short order.
There you go.
Boom, boom.
Nice one. All right, next question.
Luigi, well, because you. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so when do you plan to end the podcast? He also asked, when do you start the podcast? We'll come back to that at the very end because David Powell also asked the same thing. When do we plan to end it? I don't know if we have a plan to end it.
He also said, please no, please don't.
Please
That's what
don't.
he
You did say please don't.
there is no plan to end it.
No.
In case you're wondering.
We do convene at the end of every year and say, do we want to go around again? It's kind of like we are only contractually obligating each other to continue for the year. Obviously, we're here in 2022, so we're going one more time. This will be 7 years in March into, therefore, the 8th year of the show.
Yep.
I think, like, it depends on the way kind of, we've plateaued a bit with numbers.
Yep.
And if they...
Look, everyone, I got my move ring.
What?
Completed. If you have an Apple Watch, if you move enough, it gives you a completed move ring, then gives you a little award. Just one guy talking. Sorry, Paul actually runs. This is stupid to him.
How far did you have to move to get that completed?
Well, I did it. I see the graphic. It's really cool.
It's like the fucking
It's a really
Wheel of Time.
I know, it's a cool graphic.
I know, it's the Marvel sort of opening up.
Let's see. I moved 352 of 348 kilocalories, which is slightly fuck all.
I don't understand what kilocalories is.
It's 1,000th of a calorie.
What?
Yeah, it's like fuck all. Anyway, the point is...
How many steps have you done today?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me. But if I looked into it and learned how to use it, it probably would. So anyway,
excellent.
There you are. Sorry, please.
The Apple Watch
interrupted
kicking
you.
ass
That's
as
right.
always.
Worth every penny, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, to the show. Back to the show.
For what it's worth.
We'll see what happens this year. We give no guarantees in 2023, so get the show out there, spruik us, do whatever. We'll see what happens come the end of the year. I guess if they dropped away and people are sick of our shtick, then maybe we'll move on to something.
We
else.
may alter the format of the show. We've talked about that too.
We are going to.
Yeah,
this
we're going
year.
to do
We
a few
already
things.
You might
different.
notice some differences. We don't release things stringently Tuesday, Saturday anymore. We'll release the review whenever I get a chance to do it. So some of that stuff will continue to evolve, especially once COVID hits here, which is going to do when our borders open. We may not be able to get to the cinema to watch the new releases, so we're going to have to make some adjustments there.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry, you still have us.
All right, next question from Jason Barr. If you guys could remake one film regardless of whether the original was good or not, what would it be and who, why?
I got this one.
Go.
All right, everyone. This is a little bit nerdy, but so am I. There was a Batman animated film called The Killing Joke, which is of the graphic novel by Brian Bolland, and it's probably one of the best comic books ever written. And when it came to like the screen, everyone was, "Oh my god, it's gonna be awesome! DC's doing it." It was a box of dick sandwiches. It was so bad. It was like the horrible animation didn't do things right. Things looked pathetic. It could have been CGI. They could have thrown some money at it. Didn't, or if they did, they fucked it up. It's the worst thing ever. I think I could take a run at making it gangster again. So that's the thing I want to do. Paul?
I went with something that I think was really good in my youth that doesn't stand the test of time with ropey, shitty special effects. The Last Starfighter, I'd like to see an updated, gritty, sort of grittier, not gritty, too gritty, but grittier remake. PG-13 still fine. Let's get the kids in, but where there's a little bit more,
You are not alone here.
what's the word I'm looking for here? Stakes.
Stakes. Okay. Apparently, I've heard this. Steven Spielberg has been trying to buy that for years. And I think
Give me a call, Steve. I'll help you out.
No, he ended up writing something different as like that was a bit like that. I can't remember what it was though. But yes, that's actually a common property that a lot of people want, and the writer won't let it go.
Really?
Yeah. Even like, he must have been paid, like, offered so much money. But obviously, integrity, which is...
yeah?
Exactly. Which doesn't... It's very expensive.
Okay. From Nerdrovert... Oh, no, sorry. I apologize. From Antoine. Said, what are your favorite and least favorite things about your co-host?
Oh, good.
Oh, shit.
I actually wrote a note about this one. Well, you can start if you like, Paul.
No. I'm very interested to see where you're going to go first.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. My least favorite thing about Paul is the fucking soundboard. All right, that's it. Like, and I think I know how this is working.
What are you, a fucking moron?
Now that's shit. All right, that's unequivocally horse titty shit. All right. So, but Paul and you get a kick out of me having a problem with it. So it is a double-edged sword, and I understand how it works. Also, I could easily stop reacting, and then it would go away.
Yeah,
maybe.
would.
All right. But
We don't want that.
a part of me knows that you're entertained, and that's why I'm here. So,
The ultimate showman.
yes, I will put myself down,
Show
out,
person.
and mad, just so you can laugh, and I'm fine with that. So that's my least favorite thing about Paul. My probably most favorite thing about Paul is how fucking on the ball he is. Paul is very committed and has good time management skills.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, that's why you get episodes so uniformly. If it was me,
we did.
you wouldn't know who we are. All right, like it just wouldn't happen. All right, so
Well, you have been doing a Facebook campaign for episode for about 3 months
2
now.
3 years roughly. Yeah. So I have that problem. But
And on our channel, go
Yeah.
back and watch the top 10 movie weapons, which Wayne spent literally a year working on.
It's a long video, but it's
the whole episode, but with actual images
with like
and
images
shit.
that prompt and stuff, and it took forever.
It reinforced his effort because it took a long time, and I was so stoked when he got it out there. For me, the favorite thing about Wayne is he's got your back about anything. You need Wayne there, Wayne will be there. So I'm talking more generally than the podcast in that one. My least favorite thing is the ums and ahs. The amount of time I spend fucking cutting Wayne's ums out of product. I one day I'm gonna just take them all and dump them in an episode, so people can hear what you don't hear.
There was one time recently where that happened, and
there you go.
yeah, see, there you go. Like just like that, Paul's going. You know, you said 87 times in those 10 seconds.
I stopped you,
and
we
really?
read it again.
Sorry.
But there was like 8 times in 1 minute, and I'm just like, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. Again, if he wasn't so stoic with the time management, wouldn't happen. There you are.
Okay. Describe your ideal movie watching experience, says Christian. Well, I think I already had a question, but anyway, we'll continue on.
That's all right. It's very simple. It's not elaborate, and it's not a thing.
Mine's elaborate, but not.
There's a moment that everyone can probably, listening to this show, can appreciate when you have. There's a certain level of happiness when I have a plate of food and I sit in front of Netflix or whatever, and I'm about to hit the button or I'm about to press play. That's actually it. If I just have the...
Is that sitting in here, though, in the studio?
Here...
Do you do it in front of your TV out there?
Occasionally I do, and I sit up the couch and everything, and that's the thing, and there's like a snack table thing. But the point is that this is the thing. The food's really important. It's got to be something that's like kind of not so good for me, and I'm like, yeah, I really fucking want this shit. And then you get to watch something you always wanted. And it might be... These days it's more TV, like Book of Boba Fett and shit like that, right? It's like, oh, I want to see this thing. I know, I love it, right? So that's awesome. But the movie thing as well, something you really wanted to watch. Like, for example, No Time to Die. Right? Although that's so exciting that I probably wouldn't be able to eat during it. So that's right. Paul doesn't like it. I love it. So shit like that.
Fine.
Even the Spider-Man film, you know, that's a Marvel film. You know, it's a popcorn film, but you're having fucking fried chicken or something. Really great. So that's my favorite experience. That's the favorite.
For me, my ultimate movie watching experience is gold class. So therefore, the food does come into play. So the reclining chairs, the big screen. If you want to, you could have a drink or 3 of alcohol as long as not too much, and then the food, like you say. To have a sundae come out halfway through, it's like, oh, with a bit of sugar rush to get you through.
And that's my view on gold class food. Gold class food, or just, is typically shit. Right? It's not like fish and chips, which is fucking ass, or some bullshit fucking bun. I don't know, it's crap, right? But then when you get to the sundae and the fucking like chalk tops and the fucking frozen Coke, which is our thing, all right? That's the shit. So you should actually go out for dinner
the
first.
Other food. Yeah, exactly.
Go out for dinner first, then come to gold class and eat shit.
Shout out to Reading. I had some significantly okay, even good pizzas there.
Ooh, really?
Yesterday, watching.
There was proper food that was not bad.
Yeah, wasn't terrible.
Okay, maybe they're picking up their game,
terrible.
people.
Yeah.
But I've never had a good, this is great food experience at a gold class.
All right, from Jeff Hartley. Next question: favorite cartoon growing up?
The first one that jumps to mind for me is the real Ghostbusters. I loved it so much.
That was my answer too.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
I had a secondary answer, which was Danger Mouse.
Danger Mouse! Man, Roger Ramjet, Danger Mouse, motherfucking... No, that wasn't a cartoon. Yeah, but all of those little short ones as well, they were the shit, man.
Yep, exactly.
Definitely cool. Thanks for it.
Nice one. From Adam Allure, what's the number one show you would want a revival of with either the same cast or a reboot, with a completely different cast? I'll go first then.
You go first.
Blake 7.
Really?
Late 70s, early 80s British sci-fi show. Obviously not with the same cast because it's 40 years later. But this one is basically a very simple story about a bunch of prisoners and ne'er-do-wells who combine together inside an alien spacecraft, which is better than all of the Federation, sort of the ruling conglomerates ships. And they stay one step ahead whilst trying to plot the downfall of the Federation, which is corrupt and evil. And it's really renowned because at the end of the show, it's killed everyone.
Again, this is where Paul came from.
Everyone just basically dies in the final episode. And there's one way to make sure you never have a fucking sequel next season, whatever. Only one character, the best character's fate is left up in the air. Even the titular Blake dies in the final episode. So
when did you see this? What year? What age?
I think it finished I want to say 83.
Mm-hmm. So
82,
you were
83?
like 9?
Yeah. 8 to 9 years old. So
okay, so now you understand Paul better. This is where it all came from. Everyone has to die. Why? Because Paul Forbes, Blake
My
7.
grandfather introduced me to it and said, "You like the show? Watch this show." My aunt was fully into sci-fi. She reinforced it. So Yeah, there we go.
Interesting.
Bigger budget. This is really ropey, by the way. Really low.
Is it
special
BBC
effects.
or
BBC?
Yeah, so it's going to be ropey.
Terry Nation guy who did a lot of Doctor Who stuff too.
No, it makes sense. Okay. Since we're going nostalgia, the thing that I probably looked forward to every week when I was a kid was the A-Team. And I think you could do a kick-ass A-Team now, but I don't know that I could afford the cast I wanted. Like your George Papard Hannibal guy. I know we did Liam Neeson in the movies and stuff like that. I thought that was a wrong move. He's too big. He's bigger than BA. And his dick, forget about it. So, I don't know who exactly would come in here, but I would love to see a ragtag group of motherfuckers going and blowing up jeeps and shit. Except, in this A-Team, motherfuckers die. All right?
And the old replaced?
No, not the main characters necessarily. Although who knows, But there's actually a remake of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Have you heard of it? It's called Bel-Air, right?
I did see someone put a chart up on their Facebook.
Dark. Like it's nothing like fucking, Will Smith. It's really, really dark. So I'm not saying I necessarily wanted to go dark, but I want it to go a little more gritty and a little more now. I want to see shit blow up. Yeah. So there you go. 18.
Okay. All right. Jeff Hartley again. Second to last question. If not Australia and you could choose, where would you live?
I know this one.
That's much of an answer.
I know. All right, here it is. The finest city I thought that I had been to, which was not my own, was initially New York. And then I went back there in about 2016, and I got sick and stuff, and I just didn't have a good time. But right before that, I went to San Francisco. And look, we just assume this is non-COVID time, okay? This is after COVID is gone.
That was exactly my qualification as well.
Okay. It's San Francisco, man. That place is fucking the shit! But you can't
never
afford to
been.
live there, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of districts everywhere. You've got the Castro, you've got the Mission, you've got this and that. But you can walk around this entire city, have amazing, experiences and street fairs and shit like that. Great bookstores. That sounds weird. Great bookstores. And the houses are those long, thin, full house townhouses a lot. They're cool, man. Oh, that's the shit. That's the
fair
shit.
enough. Fair enough.
And weed's legal.
Oh.
So, no, it's got fuck all to do with it. I'm just saying,
Sure.
no, Frisco is the shit, man. I mean, anyone who's there knows if they can afford to be there. They're usually in Oakland, But anyway,
I went with somewhere that's got snow in the right time of year because I'd like to be able to ski and whatever else. I'm not sure about living in it and driving in it, if I'm really
so
honest.
you got a winter house there?
But like Japan, I'm very comfortable with. I'd need to learn the language somewhat better than I do already, which is obviously stellar. Tajabul Jedi.
There you go, beautiful.
But then also maybe, I really would like a place somewhere in the States where you can sort of branch out from. And Europe, of course, everything's close to Europe. So somewhere maybe in the UK, you can just jump on a plane whenever you want to go somewhere.
UK, I guess you want somewhere in London, right? Like if we're just going like caution to the wind, no, like money's no object.
Yeah,
right in the middle of London. Yeah. That's cool, man.
Then you're a few hour flight from all of Europe.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
why it's cool.
For people living in Australia, like to go anywhere beyond Bali is such a long flight. The concept of short travel to go to a completely different culture is foreign as fuck. So,
in the States, maybe Austin, Texas as well, if you wanted a hub right in the middle of the States.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Austin's got a few sort of film festivals and stuff as well.
Cool shit like that.
Yeah. All right. And the very last question from David Powell, as mentioned at the top. How did the first episode come about? Whose idea was it? And was Wayne always the co-host you had in mind? So I guess this one is directed at me. Did you not take much convincing? How did you go about learning how to make and publish that first one? It's a long-winded question.
Paul, hit it.
But I don't want to go into too much detail except to say Wayne was the only person. To give the very short Cliff Notes version, Wayne, myself, a bunch of other friends used to come around and hang around here at Wayne's house once every 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
Once I lived out of the area. And at the end of the year, for 2 or 3 years in a row, we would talk about the best films of the year and we would go through the release date. Do you remember this? On your TV screen, we would rotate through it, and everyone would sort of give their thoughts on the films, and we wouldn't officially, the 4 or 5 of us, come to an agreement, but just sort of say, yeah, this one was good, this one was... And
the thing is, the gags turned up when you start talking like that with your boys and your friends or whatever, and you're like making dumb, stupid jokes, and we're all laughing. I remember what you said. You said, wouldn't this make a show? And I said...
I recorded one of them.
Yeah, that's right.
It may even be still on my old computer, and that was where the genesis of the... Because at that stage, just had my daughter, and we were starting to... I was listening to a lot of podcasts because you can pause them at any time. And so I said, let's do a show. Like, surely we can do what the people I'm listening to are doing. And you're a little bit dubious, I think.
Dude, I was totally dubious.
But the other dudes were like, you get 3 episodes tops. You
Yeah.
wankers.
No, I was massively because I said to myself, I
Not
said,
just
Paul,
you, but Ali and Kelly were like,
I said, well, I said, dude, this is us talking shit. No one wants to hear us, right? Like, it's different from a performance, but I'm very linear with that kind of thing. Like, I think a performance is a performance, and this is this, and that's how I feel about art. Anyway, it's a little bit of a limiting belief. Paul said, no, let's just try it. Let's try it. And I think you just got me and said, you know what, let's just give it a try. And we ended up doing, like, in terms of the technical stuff, that was all Paul. So Paul figured out how to do the mics, how to use, like, editing software, shit like that. Me, I was all worried about the actual content, and I was worried about the performance, and so were we all.
oh,
we
it's
both
terrible
were.
to start with. Every podcast.
Yeah, the first episode
Unless you're getting
sucks.
people who are coming together from another podcast beforehand, the first episodes are terrible.
Because we weren't, I think the thing, we were actually slightly polite to each other because we didn't know how this worked and we didn't know what people would like.
Inconceivable.
I know.
And talk over each other.
Exactly. And as a result, you sit there with these like two bitches like, oh, well, so I thought this was fucking good. I thought it was good to eat it. But it's not interesting, all right? It's only when we started being like just cunty to each other.
I
Not cunty, but like real.
When it started becoming just like two very good mates just having a shot and having a discussion and calling each other out for shit.
Yeah.
It started to grow from there. And then when the sound quality improved as well, it absolutely did.
That was the thing. Once we get mixing decks and like these kind of mics and stuff like that, that made things better. It's a better sounding show, better produced show. And I think because how long is it now? 6 years?
7
7
in
years.
2 months.
7 years. So this is kind of something that we just do now. So now
For us, it's a reflection of our 40s, basically.
Yeah, that's it. Our 40s will sound like this show. All right. If we make it to 50, imagine that show. I don't even know. But yeah. What can we do? So that's how the show went.
So
And, yeah.
did it take much convincing? No, I think once so you said I'll give it a shot and whatever. We said we usually started we would do 2 weeks and I'm like, it needs to be weekly, and now we do bi-weekly, but we record all in one session. So.
Yeah, so that's why, and I think the big thing about it as well was that if sort of Paul convinced me to do it. It was definitely his idea. This is all his idea.
Sorry.
And works. And if you're listening now, maybe, thank you. But I was really, really dubious of it. And I'm very glad that he pushed us along because this has become now, it's definitely about the show, but a big aspect of it is we get to see each other weekly.
Absolutely.
And that's about as big a reason as to do the show as, like it's kind of, so.
It's one of the big reasons that stops us changing it massively.
Yeah.
We've had that discussion. So
Totally. So,
that's
the show
all
will
relationship
evolve,
is.
but the constant will just be probably that we're still hanging out. So there you are.
There it is. All right. Thank you so much to our patrons for their support of the show and for giving us questions and for being so involved in what we do. Like, I think, honestly, we wouldn't be here 7 years later if we didn't have
No doubt.
your support of the show. And for those who tune in and give the video a shot, and for subscribing, shout out to you as well. Like, subscribe. If you're just checking this out, I can't imagine you got 30 minutes in for 2 random people talking about shit that you've never heard about. But if you are involved and you do have a YouTube account, subscribe to the show and
Give us a like, give us a subscribe.
do all that stuff. And
And check out the show. Shows the actual audio shows in the show notes, the link.
Yep.
And
that's the most important thing is people getting it in their eardrums.
that's right. So
Thanks so
hope
much
everyone has a wonderful year. Thank you very much.
Stay safe, look after yourselves.
If no one's told you today, I love you.
He loves you.
I love you.
I think I love you. I don't know.
Yeah,
Met
everyone
you.
loves you. Yeah, no, we have a lot of faith in you as well. Okay, so I mean that. So thank you very much for listening.
Well, I mean, stay safe, look after yourselves, and we'll catch you soon.
See you soon.